Hey guys, if you're new here and you like what I'm putting out, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you never miss an upload. So Power Ranger Beast Morphers is one of my favourite seasons of Power Rangers we've had in the last couple of years. And although it adapted the 2012 Go Busters Sentai series, there was some stuff that they kind of skipped over and never adapted into its Power Rangers counterpart. And in this video, we're going to be talking about one of them, and that is Beat Buster. Now, I can understand why this character was never adapted into Power Rangers, because like most of the other things I've covered on this channel when it comes to Never Before Seen, a lot of these characters are movie exclusives or have a limited amount of screen time. And that's kind of the same thing for Beat Buster, because Beat Buster appeared in a DVD special episode, so that footage might have been not a part of the contract that Hasbro had when buying the Sentai, so there might have been some problems with adapting it. But let's talk about how Beat Buster came to be. So Beat Buster appears in Go Busters vs Beat Buster vs Jay, and the premise of this DVD special is quite simple. One of the good guys goes berserk, turns evil, and one of the other bad guys, Enter, who is known as Blaze in the American adaptation, steals the Morpher and is able to transform. So this seems like a very basic episode of Sentai that kind of happens. It probably goes for the usual runtime, like 20-30 minutes, probably more with everything going on, but it seems like a very basic premise and could have been like an episode of the day with everything happening. But I'm going to talk about the suit of Beat Buster, because this suit looks pretty cool. It looks pretty slick. Now this suit is pimping because it takes on the appearance of the bad guy Enter with what he wears, where it's got the visor modeled after his goggles, it's got the golden duster and the coattails around his waist. It takes on Enter's appearance with what he wears in the real world, and that is really freaking cool. And this form looks kind of badass. It looks like a proper evil ranger, and it sucks that we never got to see it in Beast Morphers or in the TV show, because I think it would have looked really cool. Even if we only did get to see it for one episode in Beast Morphers, it would have been a treat to see. Now, the conclusion to these videos I usually talk about with how they could adapt these suits into Power Rangers, and this one feels like it could have been really easy. You just use the same premise they had for the Sentai episode or the Sentai special and adapt that and Americanize it and modify it and make it just your basic Monster of the Week episode and make it fit into the timeline somewhere. According to the Power Rangers wiki, this takes place before Gavin showed up in Go Busters, so maybe they could have done that as sort of like a buffer episode between the whole Evox stuff that happened after the break and then the Gavin stuff that happened. That would have been really cool. So this episode, even if it didn't fit into the timeline of where it's placed in the Sentai, it could have worked really well as just a one-off episode to give Nate and Steel some character development in the episode. That would have been really cool. It would have been a nice focused Nate and Steel focused episode with some cool Blaze stuff thrown in there. That would have been really awesome to see. Anyway guys, that's all I've got to say about Beat Buster. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, he's a one-off character that appeared in a DVD special, so there's not much to say about him, and he's not that important in the overarching plot of Go Busters. He's just simply a one-off character, so there's not much to say about him. But how would have you adapted this character into Power Rangers? Or maybe you wouldn't have, because there's not much footage to use with it or something like that. But with that said, I think I'm going to bring this video to a close. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Special thanks to all the members such as Swagger4 and Andrew McCoyle. If you want to get your name shouted out like these guys over here, join the YouTube members or become a Patreon on the channel. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it helps keeps the lights on here, and your support is greatly appreciated. With that said, I'm going to bring this video to a close. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.